Hey, let's go. Welcome back into the Skooshi Sports Podcast, and I'm going to do my usual global sports recap, but I'm going to start splitting it into different sort of parts. So this one's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to do the cricket sort of recap. I'm going to do India winning the T20 World Cup in this podcast here. So it'll be split into about 4 or 5 different podcasts now. So if you love a sport, you can just go straight to that one. If you love all of them, obviously you can watch all of them over time as well, rather than just one big one. I'm going to separate into a sort of, could be anywhere from 8 to 12, 14 minute sort of segments, but all be separated, all be uploaded for you individually onto YouTube, and obviously audio as well, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. But this one, we're going to do the cricket recap. So the main talking point is India win the T20 World Cup hosted in India and Sri Lanka in the host country. The final was played in India in front of about 120,000 Indian fans. I mean, I'll go through it because last time I did a update on the World Cup, the Super 8 had just started. So obviously World Cup's already done now. So I'll recap it how Group 1 ended up finishing, which ended up actually being South Africa finishing on top because they beat India in the opening game of the Super 8s quite convincingly as well. So India actually ended up having to go beat Zimbabwe, and then between India and West Indies to get into the qualify for the semifinals. India ended up getting that win here, so they ended up going through to the semifinals, finishing second in Group 1. In Group 2, England won 3 out of 3 matches. New Zealand had lost to England. There was one match rained out against Pakistan. They beat Sri Lanka in that one there, and then they ended up needing Pakistan and Sri Lanka. If Pakistan were to win, they needed Sri Lanka to keep it within, I think, 70 runs and not let them chase either 70 runs or not let them chase down the total within 13 overs or something. It all came down to net run rate. Sri Lanka ended up batting second in that game there, and Sri Lanka, they fell short, but they fell short by about 10 or so runs. So ended up doing a favour for New Zealand there. So England and New Zealand ended up going through to the semi-finals in that one. And then how the format ends up working when it comes to the semi-finals part of the T20 World Cup is, as you'll see on the screen, if you are watching, if you are listening, I'll run through it with you. Whoever finishes first in Group 1 will play whoever finishes second and then Group 2, and then vice versa. The winner of Group 2 will play the runner-up in Group 1. So that meant the first semi-final ended up being between South Africa and New Zealand in this one here. I'm not sure who won the toss, but South Africa ended up batting first. They only got 169 for 8 in their 20 overs. So very, very good bowling by New Zealand in that one. I think Ravindra took 4 wickets. I think he took a couple really key wickets. I think it was 2 stumpings and 3 balls in that one. Just some very key vital wickets. South Africa weren't able to sort of get a good stranglehold and keep continuing partnerships in the back half of the innings. And then, my God, Finn Allen. Now, Finn Allen, you might see him like in Big Bash opening for the Scorchers. He can be so freaking hot, or he can be so freaking cold, man. Man, his cold runs are exceptionally bad. He'll go single figures in like succession, it feels like. But man, when he's hot, he is one of the best T20 batsmen on the planet. And just so happened he pulled it out in this final here. 100 not out of 33 balls. There's a strike rate of over 300 in that one there. Ended up absolutely destroying South Africa. They chased it down with 9 wickets to spare. I think they chased it down. They chased it down in just under 13 overs. They were going about that's close to like 14 and over, something ridiculous like that. Over 13 and over for sure. Just ridiculous innings and ridiculous hitting by Finn Allen in that one there. I don't think they had a wicket. Tim Seifert managed to get 40 or 50 in that one there. But Finn Allen, absolute star show. One of the best innings you will ever see. 100 not out of 33 fucking balls in that one. Such a clutch semi-final performance to get New Zealand into the final. They were not favourites to go and win that one at all, but first team into the final, and that meant all the pressure straight back onto India to qualify for their home World Cup there. playing England, and India batted first, and my goodness gracious me, they nearly set the same total in the semi as they did in the final. 253 for 7. Now, what I find extraordinary about this is the ODI World Cup final 2 years ago against Australia. They got like 243 or something. Now, in a T20 World Cup where it's over like half the overs less, 30 overs less, and they got more runs than that. 253 runs. That is just absolutely absurd hitting. I've got some of the scoring here that happened. I'll actually bring it up on my screen for you here for India. Samson, 89 of 42, extreme hitting. Keyshawn, 39 of 18. Dude, 43 of 25. Just look at the amount of sixes. 9, what's that, 13, 14, 16, 19 sixes in the innings. 19. Are we actually having a laugh here? It's just absolutely absurd hitting. Absurd hitting from India there. However, you would have thought 254, there was just no possible way England are chasing this down. And to their fucking credit, they lost an early wicket, I'm pretty sure. I'll actually show up here. Let me go to the England innings. Yeah, Phil Salt got out, I think, in like the first over, 5 off 3. Harry Brook got out for 7. So they were 2 down very early. In comes Jacob Bethel. As you can see, that 105 of 48 balls. Absolute clutch innings to give England some form of hope. 8 4s, 7 6s in that one there. Took a little cameo from Riley Jacks, 35 off 20 in that one. Even Jofra Archer, 19 off 4. But unfortunately, England just fell short. Only 7 runs short. Massive credit. To think that there was 499 runs in this T20 match is absurd to think about. So India winning that one by 7 runs to qualify for the final in that one. As I said, massive shout out to Jacob Bethel. 105 of 48 balls. It's absurd hitting in a semi-final, especially when you got that much pressure in India as well. 100,000 people watching you and like chasing 254 as well. Pretty darn absurd. So you got to give some credit to England. I know you got to think, now his freaking name has just gone by me. That is definitely it's a moral W. A moral W for England there. Jeremy Clarkson, if you're watching, moral W for England. But that meant India versus New Zealand in the final here, which is pretty cool. Like, obviously you see like the Warriors, you see All Blacks, jersey behind me, obviously do have New Zealand heritage. I mean, I was very proud to have New Zealand in the final here in this one. Did I give them a chance? Oh, me, some sort of a chance. I wasn't hopeful whatsoever. And I think New Zealand won the toss in this one and sent India out to bat, which, firstly, bad decision considering what India did in the semi and absolutely paid the price. India, 255 for 5. They betted their semi-final score. Absolutely. Just absurd hitting. I'll bring up the scoring once again here for you. Absurd hitting. It all started with their first opening partnership. Samson, again, 89 of 46, similar to what he did in the semi-final. Sharma, 52 off 21. I don't think they lost a week until they're none for 130 after about 9 overs or something absurd. Kishan, 54 of 25. Those opening three, absolutely dominated New Zealand. Absolutely dominated. I don't think I can see the fall of wicket. Oh, here we go. First wicket, 98 for 1 after 7 overs. Next one didn't fall, 203 for 2 after 15 overs. So this game where I was in Brisbane started at 11:30 p.m. Right, so I was no hope of watching this one, unfortunately. I did wake up at literally at midnight to check the score, and I literally saw India with none for 76 after 5 overs, and I was like, yeah, I'll go back to sleep. There's just, mate, fucking no hope. They're not losing 2 home finals in a row, obviously losing the ODI World Cup final. Absolutely no chance. So New Zealand going in to chase 256, and Spoke about Finn Allen before. He's either hot or he's freaking cold, and he needed another innings. What he did in the semi-final, he just couldn't produce it. Unfortunately, 9 off 7, early wicket. Ravinder went early as well. Only got 1 off 2. The star of the show, Jasprit Bumrah, 4 wickets for 15 runs. An economy of 3.75 in a World Cup final is absurd bowling. Absolutely absurd bowling by Jasprit Bumrah. You just see here they tried to get off to a hot start, New Zealand, but fell. First wicket fell 1 for 31 in the third over. Ravinder went early 2 for 32, 3 for 47. Just could not get a good run on. And eventually the wickets just ended up tumbling down. Got to give a shout out to Tim Seifert. He had a solid innings, 52 of 26. Santner, 43 of 35. But it was just too little, too late in the end. Ended up getting all out for 159, losing the final by 96 runs. You got to give a credit to India. Despite that first loss in the Super 8s, they managed to claw their way back and make it through to the semi, winning the semi. Just absurd hitting. I think I have to look at the other matches that they had in the group stage, but there was a fair few innings. They went over 200 runs. They were pretty heavy favorites to go win the tournament. Pre-tournament, a lot of pressure obviously to go win at home, and they absolutely clutched up and did it. Just absurd hitting by Samson there. I think he got player of the tournament. Absurd hitting. So, yeah, massive shout out to India winning the T20 World Cup against New Zealand in the final. I think we have to, it's only 2 years until the next one. It's weird that it's not 4 years. Interesting that India dominating at T20 and ODI level, but not struggling at test level, but aren't like top ranked. I think they're like 4th, I want to say, at the moment, which is pretty unusual for them considering they've got a really strong test side. But yeah, that'll do it, guys. There's your T20 World Cup recap. India winning that one by 96 runs in the final. Let me know what you think, how you like this format. If you like just sort of like shorter podcast, condensed into one sport, go watch another. Yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Thank you so much for watching the cricket recap. India winning the T20 World Cup. And cheers.